What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a community challenge. I want to do my top 25 80s movies. And this challenge comes from Tim Talks Talkies here on YouTube. He asked all the movie community to do their top 25 80s movies, and this one was hard for me. 3 months ago, I did my top 25 90s movies, and I felt like I rushed through that. I didn't take as much time as I did with the 80s movies because the 80s movies, there are a lot of good ones out there. And before I had 25 of them on a list, I had almost 100, and I had to narrow it down to 25, which was a pain in the butt. And as soon as I got to 25, I had to put them in order from 25 to 1, where 1 is being the best and 25 is still good because I feel like there's more great 80s movies than there are 90s, in my opinion. So hopefully 3 months from now he doesn't do 70s movies because I don't think I've watched that many 70s movies. So, but who knows? But anyway, I'm going to leave the link to his channel in the description below so you can see his challenge for all the movie community. So here's my top 25 80s movies. Number 25 is Turner and Hooch. If you've never seen this movie, you probably have. It's number 25 because, spoiler alert, the dog dies. But, happy ending, there's puppies. So, Turner and Hooch was a fun movie for me to watch. Number 24 is Little Monsters with Howie Mandel. And I forget the kid's name. But yeah, it's like a world under the kid's bed where monsters live and they come out from under beds and they can't come out during the day. So, Little Monsters, fun movie to watch. Number 23 is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Probably the first movie I watched. No, not the first movie I watched, but it was one of the first movies I watched as a kid that I remember. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, with the kids being shrunk from their dad's uh, laser ray, I guess, in their attic, and they get thrown out with the trash. So, and they gotta find their way back home. And of course, if anyone remembers, they befriend an ant, and it sacrifices himself fighting a scorpion. So, spoiler alert: the ant dies. So anyway, number 22. I had a whole lot of horror movies on this list before I made it to 25, but number 22 is George Romero's Day of the Dead. I felt like that was a great movie. Not the greatest Day of the Dead movie, but I think Dawn of the Dead was the better one, and Day of the Dead is like number 3, and number 1 is Dawn of the Dead, and number 2 is Night. But anyway, Day of the Dead, in my opinion, I think is one of my top 25 in the 80s. Number 21 is Night of the Creeps, another zombie movie, but it's alien zombies. I guess an alien slug that infects people and brings them to life. Number 20, Airplane. I watched this not too long ago, rewatched it, and it still holds up, in my opinion, for my top 25. Airplane, I think it's a great spook movie. Number 19 is Footloose with Kevin Bacon. When I was putting these movies in order, like, man, 19 should be like top 10 or something, but there's movies on here that I put in my top 10. But Footloose is number 19. Number 18, I don't see this movie on everyone else's top 25 80s, but I have Masters of the Universe at number 18. I enjoyed the movie because it's based on the cartoon and with all the action figures, and I enjoyed the movie. Masters of the Universe, if it was on TV today, I would stop and watch it. 17, A Christmas Story. Everyone's seen A Christmas Story. I saw it when I was a kid. I still watch it every Christmas. You shoot your eye out, kid. I mean, A Christmas Story. And number 16, another movie I don't think anyone else has on their list, but it's a movie called UHF with Weird Al Yankovic. It's one of those, not a spoof, but it's a movie that's a comedy that doesn't take itself too seriously. But that spoof, like Raiders of the Lost Ark and Rambo and all those movies. And, Weird Al Yankovic, UHF, I think is my one of my top 25, number 16. Number 15, believe it or not, is in my 15, not in my top 10, but it's The Breakfast Club. Uh, I like this movie. I don't know. Kids are in school in detention, and they kind of break out of detention and run them up the school and just, I don't know, have a day of it. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of me in detention, but I never roamed the school hallways. Number 14, I don't see this movie in anyone's list either, but The Monster Squad. I remember watching this once because I never seen it, and I watched it. I was like, oh man, this movie is great. So, I mean, real monsters: Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy, Wolfman. Wolfman's got nards, though they kind of come to life, and all these kids have got to save their small town from Dracula, and Frankenstein is becomes a good guy, and then there's the Merman, creature from the Black Lagoon. So, the Monster Squad. Number 13 is Creepshow. If you've seen Creepshow, it's like different horror stories, and basically the most memorable one was the guy in the building that was bit borderline racist, and the roaches killed him in the end. So that kind of the ending when the roaches kind of poured out of his mouth and his chest. It's like, oof. But yeah, it was a good movie from the 80s. Number 12, Willow. I liked the action adventure fantasy movies of the 80s because I don't know, it's like Willow and the movie Legend with Tom Cruise. Those were some great like fantasy adventure movies. It reminds me of the old Nintendo RPG games where you just, I don't know, I guess I'm a nerd, but Willow is number 12. Number 11, I have The Princess Bride, only because I enjoy that movie because Andre the Giant is in it. And I think I knew about this movie as a kid when my sister introduced me to it. Like, here's a Princess Bride. And by the name of it, you would think, oh, this is like a chick flick. I don't want to see no lovey-dovey stuff, but it's like got magic. It's got Andre the Giant. It's got revenge. It's like got everything. And I'm like sitting there like, whoa, this is a good movie. But The Princess Bride is number 11. So now here comes my top 10, which I had trouble trying to figure out what to put in my top 10. But number 10 is Ghostbusters 2. Yeah, so Ghostbusters 2 is one of the good sequels to movies. There are some sequels out there that just bad, but Ghostbusters 2 is number 10 just because it's I don't know, it has a lot more than the original, but also I feel like the first one is better because it started it all out. Right, number 9, I'm sure everyone has this in their top 25. The Lost Boys. Lost Boys is a great vampire flick. It's probably the best vampire movie out there besides Fright Night. Because I've seen Fright Night in other people's list too, but The Lost Boys for me is probably the best vampire movie in the 80s. Number 8, Tom Hanks in The Burbs. I don't know what was about this movie, but it was so much fun where this whole cul-de-sac, this whole neighborhood, just so much chaos over because this one house is basically maybe serial killers. I think it's been a while since I watched it, but I know Tom Hanks is in it. He believes that there's something wrong with the neighbors, and all the other neighbors think so too. So they all go there with a like lunch or dinner or something in there to invite themselves in. And then when the neighbors leave, they all sneak in and find out there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them, but then the neighbors come back and tell them that you found the bodies, didn't you? So it's like it's a good movie if you haven't seen it. I'm probably not describing the movie that great, but yeah. Number 7, another Tom Hanks movie. Probably one of the best Tom Hanks movies in the 80s is The Money Pit. They buy a house thinking that it's going to be a great live-in place, but it's all downhill from there. The house just falls apart. The stairs, the floors, the roofs. It's hilarious. I mean, especially the part where they're putting water in the tub from the rain, I think, and the tub just falls through the floor and breaks in pieces, and Tom Hanks kind of just loses it and hysterically laughs. And you're basically laughing with him because you feel like you're living in this house with them that they put all this money in. So, The Money Pit. Number 6, another spoof movie which I love, Spaceballs, which non-stop wackiness makes fun of basically Star Wars, and there's never going to be a sequel. There's never going to be any spoof movies that can top Spaceballs. It could be Airplane, it could be The Naked Gun, it could be any other spoof movie, but Spaceballs has got it. It's got everything. Rick Moranis is in it. John Candy. Um, yeah, I mean, Spaceballs is my top 6. Here's number 5, the original Ghostbusters, which I don't think. Yeah, Ghostbusters has Slimer in it, but he came back in the sequel. But Ghostbusters is my number 5. Number 4, a zombie film, Return of the Living Dead. The first one, the original, the second one was like a spoof. It makes fun of the zombie films, and the third one got more serious again. But the first one is the most memorable one. I don't know if it's the music or the send more cops or send more paramedics that did it for me. And the zombies that are can't be killed, even if they're shot in the head, stabbed in the head, they keep on coming. Even when they're turned to ashes and the smoke goes up in the clouds and it sends acid rain into the graveyard and brings up the dead again. And I mean, The Return of the Living Dead is probably not the best zombie movie out there, but I think it's my favorite from the 80s. Even though I haven't seen every 80s movies out there or every zombie movie out there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Number 3, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Never ever has a kid in real life skipped school and had an adventure like Ferris Bueller did. Yeah, I wish I could say I skipped school and went on an adventure like this, but nope. Whoever skips school kind of just stays home, probably watches Price is Right, plays Fortnite. I don't know. But Ferris Bueller's Day Off, good 80s movie. Number 3. Number 2, The Goonies. I know it's not, it should have been my number 1, but hear me out. The Goonies is amazing. I know everyone's probably seen The Goonies like 100 million times. They could watch it in the morning, watch it in the middle of the day, watch it before they go to bed, and never get tired of it. Goonies never say die. I want to see a sequel where Sloth is living with Chunk. That's it. That's all I want to say. And my number 1 movie that I watch every Christmas. You don't even have to watch it at Christmas because it's just a fun movie to watch. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Nothing goes right for the Griswolds during Christmas or any vacation. But Clark Griswold is trying to have the perfect Christmas for his family, but everything goes wrong with the tree, with the lights, with all the family coming to visit, unannounced too. But it's Christmas Vacation just seems like something that could happen with someone's family during the Christmas vacation where nothing can go right. The turkey is nothing but skin, no meat. Uh, Cats getting electrocuted. Um, People entering their RV crapper into the sewer. The crapper's full. But yeah, Christmas Vacation is my number one 80s movie, and this list was so hard to do. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be like, that's your number one, or that's your number two, or that's your number three, but it's okay. I kind of agree with them that it's probably not the best list, but it's my list. So anyway, that is my top 25 80s movies. Hope I did. Nope. Sorry, that was an interruption. So that was my top 25 80s movies. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of my list. And see y'all in the next video. See you later.